So we built a tip for the buggy, kind of copied, what Borla kind of does. You can see the small notch on there and a big notch there, separating the big notch from the back to the small notch in the front. Gives it a different tone. It'd be kind of cool. But what's going on in the buggy, and we'll see how it sounds once we get the little straight through muffler, just to quiet this thing down just a little bit, make it more, pleasing to ride. We got the truss fully welded on that part that you can see that's discolored. It's tack welded back in place. We're gonna now remove these bars right here, both of them, and build a new lower fucking skid plate, because our lower links were hitting right there. Our upper links were hitting up there. So now that we got the front or the rear of the motor hopefully hung, we are going to support it with something, but it'll free up a lot of the room and weight of the thing. But let's get after it. Okay, we got pedal bolt flopped around. We got engine mounted for the rear brace. Everything's just tack welded to the lower bar. Don't necessarily know what to call it. Let's say firewall. And yeah. Okay, well, we're getting the start of the exhaust kind of routed. This is the mock-up header. We'll be trimming it and bringing everything down to this tube down here. This will be bent up a little bit. It runs along the frame with about a 1/2 inch gap throughout. About 1.25 inch gap along the bottom of the frame. And then it's gonna wrap up and around, because this is about where we can go with it. It's gonna come through, up, and tip. We did this on old aluminumized steel on our old X-Acto-matic bender. Had the old Duke Master help us. Damn supervisor. So we got the start of our exhaust going together. It's coming down to the chassis through the bottom. It's curving up and around, and we're gonna route it all the way up to the back where the tip's gonna be. So got the exhaust tip done. Should we mount it here? That's just mock-up for header. Here. Down here underneath the chassis, get the sound kind of out of your way. Or route it a little bit farther and come under here. Fuel cell will be down in here. Got the exhaust tip done. Should we mount it here? That's just mock-up for header. Here. Down here underneath the chassis, get the sound kind of out of your way. Or route it a little bit farther and come under here. Fuel cell will be down in here. Well, we got her done. Routed down through, hung, centered. Comes around, down through the chassis, and then where my top link is gonna mount, I'm thinking about wrapping the tube around and maybe coming out of the chassis and connecting it. Give it that hybrid look. Be a little different than most, and I like different. So we got the exhaust semi-routed. This is what I thought looked best. It would look pretty sweet going on the trails too. Be quiet, you know, the whole shebang. But we're gonna tack weld it here, make sure everything's all squared up still. Because you know, I just tacked, I'm gonna be tack welding it here at the tip again for a third time. But just trying to keep everything as straight as possible and looking nice. Put a tack on it. Give it a second. Looks like it's still fairly straight, which it's on a rubber hanger, so it's going to move around a little bit, but we're still trying to, you know, have something that's nice. We're going to throw a tack down here. And throw a tack down here. Oh. Put it in. That should be semi-secure. And bring it over so you can see how it's routed. We got it going through the bottom of the chassis, up through this about the center, routed through the back. And tip out the back. So hopefully that kind of flows. We still got to make room for a little gas tank. Gonna try to shoot for, you know, 5 gallons, hopefully. Well, we got the 4-link in. Hopefully that'll work. But I'm damn near fucking the same. Hell yeah. Okay, we got the lower bar taken out. We got the mock-up drive line, you know, gave you a rough idea. Got just about maybe a 1/2 inch to 5/8 of clearance for that big old drive shaft. That's good enough for us. It's not going to be that big, but you know, it's good to oversize it for mock-up. We're about to run our top links up, getting those cut right now. And then we got the exhaust semi-routed just for mock-up right now. It's ran around. This is going to be long-term, up, around, and through the back. We think that'll look pretty damn good. And we still got to add a little back half so you have a little bit of storage, hopefully. And yeah,